What are your thoughts on the just the cycles right now in general, in the sense of, there's obviously the meme in the Bitcoin space of the 3 green candles and then 1 red candle. Now it's like the 2 green, 1 red, 1 green. Like what are your thoughts on just are the cycles elongated now? Is there going to be a super cycle? The cycles are done. Like how do you see things kind of playing out here?
I think one of two things will happen. I believe that the political environment has far more sway over the Bitcoin cycles now than in previous cycles. I think the Trump administration is acutely aware of that. Scott Bessent, the Secretary of Treasury, is doing everything he can to have a booming economy into the midterms next year. They're all political beasts and they want to make sure that their agendas get fulfilled. I've got no dog in that fight, so leave me out of the politics, but just commenting from a macro perspective and what I see happening in the markets, I see that they're going to be really strong or delayed. And so we're not going to have a run really starting until January, February next year that will run into maybe end of first quarter, second quarter, maybe even third quarter. And what that means is that's going to be a really hot economic environment where everyone's positive on the economy. And that gives Trump and the Republicans the greatest chance of winning the midterms. That's my highest probability of what's going to happen moving forward. However, I think there's an alternative scenario that could happen, and I don't think it's beyond the realm of possibility with what we've seen with, I guess, a whole host of altcoins moving and coming to market. I think what we could see is an extended period of relatively low volatility and this 100K price basically being a magnet both up and down, where a whole host of people are thinking that that's a really good point to exit. And what we'll see is we could see basically a lot of selling between now and mid to late next year where the price doesn't move much from where it is. And then towards the back end of the year, that I think the realization for a whole host of OG Bitcoiners, they'll realize that, hey, this was meant to be the 80% drop in the market. This was meant to be the red flag, the green, 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 red. Well, all of a sudden we haven't had a red. And all of a sudden all of the buying has basically brought up that supply that they took to market, and they realize they're on the wrong side of it and they need to get that Bitcoin back. And we could see people chasing that Bitcoin into the end of 2026 and 2027 after a very, very low volatility period, which will really exhaust a whole host of Bitcoin hodlers.
Generational